Well, he claims he was a first responder on 9/11, a firefighter who went to the Pentagon.
But tonight's stories repeated for years are getting more scrutiny as Christopher Supruns prepares to cast his ballot as a member of the Electoral College. Political reporter Jason Whiteley has this story you'll see only on News 8.
Welcome to the mound, first responder, Christopher Supruns.
He portrays himself as a hero.
He's a firefighter paramedic who was first among the scene when the third plane struck the Pentagon during the terrorist attacks September 11th, 2001.
A Dallas resident for more than a decade.
He is a founding member of the Never Forget Foundation. He travels.
Chris Supruns is a licensed paramedic and has a nonprofit called the Never Forget Foundation. Making news now, though, for what he wrote in the New York Times this month. How he, as a member of the Electoral College, will not support Donald Trump. Supruns even uses his resume to establish his credibility, writing that, quote, 15 years ago, as a firefighter, I was part of the response to the September 11th attacks against our nation.
He claimed to be a first responder with the Manassas Park Fire Department on September 11, 2001. And he personally told us stories. Well, I was fighting fire that day at the Pentagon. No, I was on a medic unit at the Pentagon.
He told you all that?
Yes. And you make a phone call to Manassas Park and find out he wasn't even employed there till October of 2001.
A month later?
Correct.
That's what Manassas Park told us as well. Said it hired him on October 10th of 2001, a month after 9/11. And the chief even says his department never responded to the Pentagon. One first responder who knows Supruns agreed to speak to us only if his identity could remain confidential.
It's no different than stolen valor for the military. Dressing up and saying, hey, I earned a Purple Heart when you were never even in combat. There's a big difference between shopping at Old Navy and being a Navy SEAL.
Supruns' resume shows he's currently a paramedic with Air Methods Air Ambulance Service. But that company told us he doesn't work for them. Supruns also claims to be an active paramedic with Freedom EMS in Dallas. State records, though, show there's no such company. One used to exist in Houston but went out of business in 2008. Turns out federal court records show Supruns has spent the last 5 years in bankruptcy, just getting out this month, and even collected unemployment during part of it, while his resume says he was working. Supruns never responded to multiple emails from us. We got a voicemail when we tried to call.
Sorry, mailbox is full.
And 2 public relations companies he hired emailed us that Supruns' schedule is jammed-packed. Chris Supruns' story raises a much bigger question. How in the world are presidential electors chosen, and aren't they vetted? Unfortunately not. In fact, they are elected in a pretty informal process at each party's state convention.
Parties might want to ask for a little more background information.
Matthew Wilson is a political science professor at SMU and bets that Supruns might change things 4 years from now.
I think in the future there will be a little more vetting and scrutiny given to prospective electors, only because there's been so much discussion in this cycle of the possibility of faithless electors.
So if Supruns isn't working at the places on his resume, whose uniform is he wearing at public appearances? Manassas Park officials say it looks like theirs from 12 years ago. Texas electors meet Monday in Austin, and it's uncertain who will get Supruns' vote. But as Supruns questions Trump's credibility, fellow first responders have doubts of their own about his. Jason Whiteley, Channel 8 News.
So far, Chris Supruns is the only Republican elector who has said publicly he will not vote for Donald Trump. Texas has 38 electors who will meet in Austin on Monday, and News 8 will be there.